The anime community already struggles with a reputation problem. From the outside looking in, we're often seen as obsessed with creepy, over-sexualized, or outright disturbing content. Even though there's so much more to anime than that. But when people like Chibi Reviews, one of the most visible anime YouTubers, openly praise anime centered on incest, lolly characters, and other extreme content without any critical lens, it makes that stereotype harder to shake. This video isn't a personal attack, it's a criticism of his influence and the kind of image he presents as a representative of anime fans. Hello everyone, my name is Abandit, also known as Ban or Ban, and I make videos on bullshit from time to time. I've made a video on Strunova, a video on Honkai Star Rail's French translation, and Fallout 4, which is my 3 current videos, all of which have been doing okay. But yeah, I wanted to take a new approach, see if this video might benefit me. If you guys like this kind of content, let me know. And yeah, let's go. If you've been around in the anime community long enough, especially on YouTube, there's a good chance you've heard of Chibi Reviews. On the surface, he seems like your average anime fan. Upbeat, enthusiastic, always quick to upload his thoughts on the latest episode of whatever seasonal show is trending. He comes off as harmless, passionate even. But here's the thing, Chibi Reviews isn't just another anime fan sharing opinions online, he's a figurehead. One of the most visible anime YouTubers with a massive following that treats his word as gospel. And when somebody with that kind of platform chooses to double down on some of the most toxic aspects of anime culture, it reflects badly, not just on him, but on the entire community. And let's be honest, anime already has a reputation problem. It's routinely stereotyped as creepy, perverted, or morally bankrupt. And while that's an overgeneralization, it's also not completely unfounded. There is a portion of anime that sexualizes underage characters, normalizes incest, or pushes fetishist material into the mainstream. The problem isn't that this content exists, it's that people like Chibi Reviews openly celebrate it, without an ounce of self-awareness or critical thought. This is someone who's been caught publicly praising anime like Eromanga Sensei, or Reimo, and other incest-driven or lolly-heavy shows, without even acknowledging how weird, disturbing, or damaging those stories are. I'm not exaggerating here, he's describing them as cute, wholesome, or underrated, as if shows centered on literal sibling romance and sexualized children are just quirky fun. And when people criticize him for it, he plays the victim, every single time. And I wish I could say this stuff's a bad taste in anime, but it doesn't, because in 2024 a serious accusation emerged. His ex-partner publicly accused him of emotional abuse and manipulation. She said he neglected her, treated her like she didn't matter, and took advantage of her kindness. She revealed that during their relationship, she dropped to a dangerously unhealthy weight of 70 pounds and hinted that infidelity may have been involved. And what was his response? A 15-minute deflection-filled video where he calls the whole thing mutually toxic while never taking real accountability. He spun it like both sides were just a little messy, as if emotional abuse is some kind of two-way street. After that video dropped, his Twitter got locked, his DeviantArt account got spammed, he claimed he was being doxxed, threatened, and harassed, all while launching a GoFundMe to take legal action against his supposed enemies. But here's the thing, none of that erases the pattern. None of that explains why he keeps propping up the worst content in anime and defending it like it's fine. None of it changes the fact that he's building a brand around controversy, clickbait, and anime takes that drag the whole community down with him. We're not just talking about bad anime opinions anymore, we're talking about a public figure who is normalizing anime that celebrates incest and the sexualization of minors, dodging serious allegations of abuse, using his platform to paint himself as a victim anytime he's held accountable. And the worst part, a huge part of his audience enables it. They rush to defend him, call him misunderstood, or claim it's just fiction, as if that gives him a free pass to praise the worst part of anime without thinking about the broader impact. But we have to think about it, because when someone like Chibi Reviews is the face of an anime community, it only reinforces every awful stereotype people already believe about us. He isn't harmless, he isn't just a guy talking about anime, he's someone who has been handed a massive platform, and he's used it to promote harmful content, deflect personal accountability, and make anime fandom look worse in the eyes of the world. And that's exactly why we need to talk about him. So now that we've talked about who Chibi Reviews is and why his platform matters, let's dive into what really makes him such a damaging figure in the anime community. And that's his public obsession with content that most people would call flat out disturbing. Let's start with that tweet that, honestly, is beautiful by the way, speaks for itself. Chibi posted, "Incest in anime is based and tired of people pretending it's not." That's not a joke. That's a public tweet from a grown man with hundreds of thousands of followers, saying that incest in anime is not only okay, it's based. This wasn't buried in a thread, this wasn't satire, it was a proudly delivered opinion. To make it even more surreal, immediately after tweeting this, he followed up by posting a photo of his own family, including his little sister. Why? No idea. but it's just another example of how utterly tone-deaf and socially oblivious this guy is. Unfortunately, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Chibi's timeline is riddled with content defending or spotlighting lolly characters and tropes. He constantly plays the "it's just fiction" card to defend sexualized depiction of childlike characters in anime. Here's a perfect example. Lolly does not mean you're a pedophile, my stance will never change on this. Hate me if you want. No one is saying that liking lollies automatically makes you a criminal, but when your content constantly glorifies underage-looking characters and revealing clothing and you refuse to critically reflect on it, you're creating a space where predatory attitudes can hide. Here's another tweet. Chibi shares an image of a highly sexualized anime figure that looks like an actual child. Knee spread, bikini clad, posed like a literal pinup, and he captions it, "Is this what anime fans want?" Then he answers his own question, "Anime fans, yes." Think about that. He didn't criticize it, he didn't question it, he showcased it and laughed along, like it was cute, like this wasn't exactly what anime's critics are talking about when they call the fandom degenerate. And the pattern continues. He once posted a panel from Dandadan as seen featuring a hypersexualized post of a character who's said to be 16. He comments on it, posts a thirst reaction, and then says, also, "What the fuck, you're 16, blocked." That doesn't make it okay. That makes it worse. You knew the character was underage and still decided to post it, react to it, and profit off of it. It gets even more uncomfortable. On another post he writes, "Forgive me for saying this, but I licked my screen over an image of a female anime character posing with her feet up in a clearly fetishy way." Another time, he shares an image of panty shots and locker rooms fan service, lamenting that we don't see those tropes enough anymore. Like we're supposed to miss that kind of objectification. And if you're sitting there thinking, okay, he's just a weirdo who likes edgy anime content, that's part of the problem. People keep minimizing this behavior. But when someone constantly defends this content, proudly identifies with it, and pushes it into people's feeds every single day, it's not harmless. It's cultural damage. Worse yet, when Texas passed a bill restricting AI-generated child pornography, Chibi complained about it. He posted, "Can't believe Texas is trying something like this. This law is so loosely worded it could be used to ban anime." Let that sink in. A bill created to stop AI-generated CSAM, literal digital child exploitation, and Chibi's first reaction is to wonder if his anime collection might be in danger. That's where his priorities lie. There's nothing wrong with talking about anime critically, there's nothing wrong with analyzing controversial content, but that's not what Chibi Reviews is doing. He's normalizing it, he's endorsing it, he's building a platform on it, and dragging the reputation of the entire community down with him. And when people call him out, he doubles down. He pretends it's about artistic freedom or being misunderstood, instead of taking a second to ask himself why people are so disgusted by what he posts. He's not pushing the medium forward, he's pulling it into the mud. There's a reason so many anime fans feel embarrassed to tell people what they watch. People like Chibi Reviews have turned anime commentary into a creepy, exploitative performance. One where the loudest voices praise incest, defend sexualized kids, and makes a joke out of real concerns. If this is who we allow to represent our culture, then we can't be surprised when outsiders look at us with disgust. Alright, we've talked about Chibi's garbage takes, we've talked about the incest tweets, the lolly defense, the screen licking, the family photo after an incest post, all of it. And if you're a normal person, you're probably thinking, surely people aren't still supporting this guy, right? Surely the anime community said, nah bro, get help. Wrong. You severely overestimated the average YouTube anime fan. Chibi Reviews has one of the most brain-dead NPC-coded fanbases I've ever seen. Like, this isn't just a case of, oh, they don't know better. No, they know exactly what he's about. They've seen the tweets, they've heard the allegations, and they still treat this man like he's the second coming of Goku. You call him out, and what do they do? It's just fiction, bro. You're just jealous. Lolly doesn't mean what you think it does. No. Shut up. You are defending a grown man who said incest is based and posted his little sister like it was a PowerPoint slide in court. Sit down. This guy could tweet, "Just kissed a plushy shit like a 10-year-old anime girl," and half his replies would be, "King, you're so real for that. Anime saved my life too." Meanwhile, everyone with a working conscience is sitting there like, did y'all not see the FBI warning before the movie started? It's straight up cult behavior. He'll drop some insane take like, "I miss panty shots in anime," and somehow turn himself into the victim. Everyone's so sensitive these days, they're censoring my childhood. Nah bro, your childhood needed censorship, and therapy, and possibly a priest. You get along well with them, they touch children too. This is where I give a shout out to my guy Phoenix, who's also been calling this clown out. Real one, he said it best, this guy cannot be real. And honestly, I agree. This dude feels AI generated from the darkest parts of 4chan. He's not even a real anime fan at this point. He's just a walking lolicon TikTok with a YouTube channel. And the sad part, when people like me or Phoenix point out this behavior, what happens? We get called haters. People say we're overreacting. And look at this, I got banned, and apparently he did too. But nah, y'all are underreacting. The bar is literally on the floor and somehow this man brought a shovel. Here's the problem. The more the community excuses people like Chibi, the more we normalize this trash. We're already dealing with the world thinking anime fans are just perverts with body pillows and no concept of age, and then this guy becomes one of our loudest voices. Like, how are we supposed to take anime seriously when one of our most valuable influencers is out here complaining about a lack of panty shots like it's some kind of cultural oppression? We get clowned by normies, blacklisted from mainstream spaces, and laughed out of legitimate media discussions because of people like Chibi, and the fans who treat him like he's some misunderstood genius instead of just a grown man with a terminal case of weird. So if you're still out here defending this man after everything you've seen, I don't know what to tell you. You're not edgy, not built different, you're just plain old fucking weird. Truth is, we need to stop pretending this is okay. We need to stop boosting voices that make the community look like a damn watch list. I don't care if he made one good take on Attack on Titan 3 years ago. I don't care if he cried on camera over Made in Abyss. The man needs to log off, touch grass, and probably talk to law enforcement voluntarily. And his fans needs to stop worshipping mediocrity just because it validates your own degenerate taste. Grow up. Let's be real. Chibi Reviews isn't just some harmless fan with weird taste, he's the physical embodiment of why people think anime fans are creeps. This man went online, typed out incest is based, hit send, and then followed it up with a post of his actual little sister. That's not just tone deaf, that's therapy evading, self-snitching behavior. His Twitter is a digital landfill. You scroll 2 minutes and you've already seen lolly defense speeches, anime feet licking, crying about panty shots disappearing, and thirsting over 16-year-old characters like he's legally banned from Crunchyroll. It's not a problem, it's more. His fans are cult members, pure NPCs. They see this grown-ass man defining child-coded characters and the response is, but it's just real like that. No, he's not. He's just really fucking weird and surrounded by enablers with shared brain rot. And look, don't just take my word for it. Go check his Twitter for yourself. I want you to. Go see just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Scroll through and ask yourself, is this the kind of guy I want representing the anime community? If the answer is yes, congrats, you need to go outside and go touch the nearest therapist. Chibi Reviews isn't misunderstood, he's not edgy, he's not just into different stuff, he's a walking punchline that somehow got a subscriber button. And the fact that people still stan him, that's the real red flag. Anime deserves better, we deserve better. Stop pretending this is normal. Stop putting these kinds of clowns on pedestals just because they know how to hit record, blah, shut the fuck up. That's it, I'm out. Like, comment, do whatever, but most importantly, stop worshipping diddies who sing for fictional children. The bar is in hell, and Chibi's down there digging tunnels.